The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. A massive explosion has been reported at Iran's Fordow nuclear facility. The reports were initially just flat out denied by the Iranian news agency IRNA, and then they were, I guess we could say, independently confirmed. I don't really know what the term is here. The Times of London's Israel correspondent Shira Frenkel is confirming it through her independent sources, saying an explosion is believed to have damaged Iran's Fordow nuclear facility, which is being used to enrich uranium. Israeli intelligence officials have told The Times. Sources in Tel Aviv said they thought the explosion happened last week. They are investigating reports that led to extensive structural damage and 200 workers being trapped inside. So when I hear about the explosion and then I hear that Iran is denying that it even happened, I assume one of two things. I guess one is probably somewhat more likely than the other. One is the U.S. or Israel bombed it,
right,
and they have an interest in making it seem like that's not the case. Or number two, they're so incompetently carrying out research that they blew it up themselves. But that doesn't seem that likely, right?
Highly unlikely. These aren't the types of explosions and mishaps that usually happen at places like this. I assume this is Israel's work.
And if it is Israel's work, we have, what was the Israel statement? Sources said that they thought the explosion happened last week. The Israeli government is investigating reports. So I think they're not really making official statements about this. Is this, Natan, how you think most likely Iran will be prevented from having a nuclear weapon, that explosions just happen?
Well, it's either going to be this or, crippling economic sanctions worse than the ones that have already been put in place, and a lot of international pressure making them come to their senses. But the reality is, if you agree that it's a huge risk to the entire world for Iran to have nuclear weapons, that this is probably the ideal way of doing it militarily, in the sense of no one dying.
Other than the people at these nuclear research facilities, potentially.
Yes. In this case, did anyone die?
Well, we have 200
Unconfirmed.
workers that were trapped, but we don't know yet whether anybody died.
Right. In any case, we can say that if we have these facilities operating far away from cities and where, innocent civilians are, if the workers are really the only casualties, then I think that from a military standpoint, I'm not saying morally whether it's right or not to do it, it's probably the best type of military activity.
Yes, there's no question that that's the way that the fewest people will die. The question is what will be the international reaction. I think most countries agree that they don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
Right. Well, what's the reaction in a situation like this when Iran is trying to deny that an explosion even happened?
Yes.
There is no national reaction. So if this is what keeps happening, I think we might just continue on this path for a long time.